fire Howie. Fucking fire him. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, Howie's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him. You.
Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here for my buddy Cowboy Jobu, as well as the Funky Chicken. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And don't forget about BetUS. This is the last two weekends of the NFL season. Don't forget to get your 150% matching deposits on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. And it's beyond just football. You know, there's basketball, there's hockey, you name it. You can gamble on it, but gamble responsibly. And remember, YouTube 150. All right, good people. It is Friday after, oh my God. I couldn't watch the game anymore last night. I literally could not watch the Bears and Seahawks last night. Ginger, I'm sorry. Oh, my God. Your team, 6-3. That was a throwback game. We all wanted to throw it back because it stunk so bad. It was just literally unwatchable. I was literally sitting here trying to live stream and falling out, although that might have been the Christmas dinner from the day before that. You know, and then there was my mom's pies and rolls and the cookies. It might have been a food coma. It literally might have been a food coma. But still, the game was unwatchable. And this is where you kind of start looking at this and saying, you know, the NFL product isn't as exciting as it's been in the past. And you have to start wondering, do the NFL need to do something as opposed to talking about an 18-game schedule and possibly expansion into other markets and trying to put games on literally every night of the week like the NBA, that maybe they need to slow down and focus in on doing things that will make games better. Instead of making guys play on a short week, how about adding another bye week? So instead of a Thursday night game that they just played 4 days ago, they literally have a week off before they play that game. Give them time to recover. Get them time to have a game plan. So that way what we're watching is quality as opposed to just quantity. I'm just saying, that's the way I look at it. Be that as it may, this weekend we have the Cowboys versus the depleted Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles, where I'm not sure there's really a lot to play for right now. Now, for the Eagles, here's the problem for the Eagles. Couple of things, okay? We know that it's looking more and more like Jalen Hurts, who's hurt, won't be playing. It just does not look like there's going to be any chance that he's going to play on Sunday. So that means Kenny Pickett, who's got sore ribs, is going to play. The Eagles lost the number 2 spot. Basically have lost the number 1 spot. Sorry, you got the dogs barking. Somebody needs to let the dogs out. Everybody left me with their dogs. Hey! Shut that noise up. The Eagles pretty much have lost the number 1 seed, although they could actually lose the number 2 seed. Right now, you're possibly looking at either the Lions or Minnesota being the first team to have 14 wins and not win their division. Yeah, that's how good those two guys have been playing. And for the Eagles don't want to have the creep in what happened last year where they were 10-1 and crashed and burned. Because if they lose this game, then they start thinking and questioning themselves, because then they could technically drop down to the 3rd seed. Now, my buddy Philly 500 said, he took Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and the day after Christmas off, because he said it's not like we're playing a real team. And now that we've lost CeeDee Lamb, you can definitely say, well, we're even lower. But here's the thing. You have somebody who's got a lot to play for in Micah Parsons, who's playing in front of his hometown team, hometown family, friends, where he grew up, against the Eagles, and can play the spoiler role. So for Micah, who is, of course, looking to get that half a sack at least, to have double-digit sacks and finish the season on a positive note, wants to win this game. Wants to win the game. Now, I've seen the bet line as high as 9. I've seen it as low as 7. And it's evolving depending on Jalen Hurts. But you have to look at it and say the Cowboys probably are not going to have much offense. This is going to be a defensive struggle. And the Eagles, without Jalen Hurts, you can say the same thing, going against the Cowboys defense that's been playing hot. The real question is, well, actually, I'll get to the real question. But Micah Parsons, let's listen to him. He knows the season is winding down, but he still wants to play.
Yeah, we just got to go handle business. I'm excited.
How excited are you to play Saquon again? You said he was like a big brother to you earlier this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I don't want to give him too much ammo, so we got to find a way to slow him down, though.
What kind of greeting do you expect from these fans after your last little comments in Philadelphia, even though you're a Pennsylvania native?
I mean, I think it's the same as always. They always scream at F Dallas, and that's the build-up. That's the fun part. Energetic fans. At the end of the day, it's about just playing good football. The fans play. It's going to be a great environment. So it's like, who's not excited to go play in that,
Drew Pearson once said that he had to pull his brother. He had to go in the stands because his brother got into it with a fan. Have you had any family member?
Nah, my mom stay out the way. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Your mom could bring it, though, if it ever came to that.
She could bring it, for sure.
Mama can bring it, and you might need to against Philly.
Given that it is the way it is in Philadelphia, what would it be like for you guys to send that fan base home unhappy?
Oh, man, that probably makes the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sets everything off. Like, us getting that win, away game in Philly, knowing how they try and get the #1 seed, can set them back a little bit. They're fighting for everything. They're fighting for where they want to be in playoffs, and we just fighting to whoop them. So we, you know what I'm saying? So they got more to lose than we do, so that'll be a great feeling right there.
Your thoughts on the quarterback situation right now? Hurts got dealing with concussion, and Pickett's been a little injured.
I mean, that's the nature of the game. We don't got our quarterback, sometimes. At the end of the day, I think these games, which I've been saying what's going to happen, is going to come down to defense. They got a top defense. We're playing better defense at this point in the year. So I think it's going to be a defensive game.
You talked about who should be MVP on your podcast yet?
Yeah, I said it a couple of times. I mean, it's a quarterback award, so it's probably going to be Lamar. If it wasn't for about team success, it should be Joe Burrow, but Lamar going to win. I think Lamar should win. I mean, what he's doing right now, it'll be a shame if he don't win. They basically are saying, he shouldn't have won last year, but he won, so he shouldn't win this year, even though he got the numbers to win. I think the writers be a little
shady.
The people who get the vote are a little backwards sometimes. But Lamar should be MVP for sure.
Think it should be a quarterback award?
No, I don't think it should be a quarterback award. Because as you can see, this is a
So Micah, as you can see, is definitely, he's trying to be low key. He's not trying to give him any bulletin board material and things. But like you said, this is a great way to finish off. This is a great way to make the season by hurting the Eagles. Now, here's the question that you have to ask, though, if you are the Philadelphia Eagles, knowing that Jalen Hurts is hurt. This is the thought process. Even if Jalen Hurts had gotten out of concussion protocol, they're thinking that he wouldn't play anyway, because you look at it and say, is he susceptible to another one? Is this game important enough to risk losing him for the playoffs? And you have to look at that and say, probably not. So that's where you look and say, okay, you understand that that's why they're not playing. So then here's the other problem here is as we start with Saquon Barkley, who's closing in on one of the biggest records in football, the rushing record, yards in a season, be it he's got an extra game, and I believe Eric Dickerson did it in 14. Do you look at this and say, we go for the record? Or are we looking for this to say we need you for playoffs? That's a big question. Do you let Saquon go for it in what's possibly a meaningless 2 games that you may end up being the 3rd seed? Well, if you lose this one, I can guarantee you, you're going to be the 3rd seed. But do you look at this and say, we're all in and we're going to go ahead and play Saquon? Because clearly you're going to need Saquon to run well to win this game with Kenny Pickett. You just are. Kenny Pickett's got sore ribs. And the way the Dallas Cowboys have been taking away the football and getting to the quarterback, all the quarterback hits and pressures and the sacks, where they literally are leading the league in the last 5 games, you don't want to have Kenny Pickett back there launching the ball 30 or 40 times. And if you take away Saquon, you really just basically put up the white flag. And then you've got Saquon, who probably is thinking, I really want this record. They've got a big problem here. So let's finish this off here. And looking at BetUS, currently the line is down to 7. So Vegas is thinking, it's getting a little bit closer here. Trying to get a little bit more money on the Cowboys there. Let's listen to their argument on Get Up.
To win a championship this year, that is not.
I would say that for every record but this one. This one has stood the test of time. 40 years. You talk about this is a team record, right? It's an individual award, but it's a team record because that offensive line has been outstanding. That puts them in the same breath with like that Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been one of the very special lines. You talk about Saquon Barkley, how many yards he has without being touched. I mean, he has 80-yard touchdowns, 50-yard touchdowns without being touched. And that's a testament to that offensive line, how great they played.
Well, I mean, if early on this year is any sort of testament to whether or not Saquon Barkley wants the record or the Super Bowl, we know that he's going to pick the Super Bowl. He had an opportunity against the New York Giants to break his career high in rushing yards, and he said, I want to see the young boys eat. And I think when you have a running back like that or you have a superstar that's willing to give unselfishly, those are the type of dudes you want to block for, and we've seen that from Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line.
All true, but you can set your own personal career high any week you want.
Right.
This is very rare to be in a position with 2 games left to be able to break a record like this.
Whatever's gotten hurt in the last game.
But this is a team goal as well because they need him because Jalen Hurts is hurt, so they need him to be
like 2,000.
MVP.
I feel like 2,000 is a lot of yards, though.
It
right?
is
Like
a lot of yards.
If you get to 2,000, that is also rarefied.
It
air.
is.
And I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, Eric Dickerson gets to be brought up every time we bring up the fact that he has this record.
Yeah.
But you get brought up when you play big-time football in Super Bowls as well, Bart. I don't know.
No one's been able to tell me all week.
I don't.
Whoa! I think we're going to leave it there.
Am I catching strays?
Time to play Fact or Fiction, RC.
So should they go for it? That's the big question. Should the Eagles go for this record? Or should they worry about playoffs? Don't have the answer to it, but we'll have to wait and see. And we'll see what Philly 500, if he has any responses. He's been pretty quiet for a Cowboys-Eagles week. It's kind of funny. And I certainly haven't heard from Dan Salio either. I think I might need to get my chicken shirt back out. Yeah, I think I'm going to get the chicken shirt. Alrighty, good people. I think I need to go let the dogs out. I'll catch you later. Peace out.